Morning, friends. Today we are going to continue the next part. Last time we have seen about the EDTA, use of EDTA as a tight trend. Then we have talked about the standardization of the EDTA. EDTA will be standardized by using the zinc 2 plus solution, means zinc sulfate solution. Now we have to talk regarding the selectivity of EDTA as a tight trend. Why EDTA is only selected? So many factors or say methods that used to enhance the that particular enhance or increase to selectivity of PDT as a tight trend. Number one is the chemical separation or say classical separation. pH control is there, that is nothing but a control of acidity, use of masking agent, use of the demasking agent, and another is the kinetic masking. In the chemical separation, what we have seen that the simplest procedure to increase the selectivity is to separate the desired species from the other component of the sample. The techniques used may be the precipitation or say chromatography. Example is given: calcium 2 plus, nickel 2 plus, Mg2 plus and Cu2 plus ions can be first precipitated as calcium oxalate, nickel DMG, Mg ammonium phosphate and Cu thiocyanate. This precipitate can be dissolved in the separate suitable solvent and the titration it can be titrated against a EDTA complex symmetrically. In the mixture, what is there? There is a presence of this much ions are there: calcium, nickel, Mg, copper. Then it is very difficult because all they form the stable complex with the EDTA. For that purpose, you have to form the precipitate of that ions individually by using their suitable, that we can say the suitable. You can add the chemical for the for precipitation of the calcium. You can add oxalic acid, then the calcium oxalate will form. Then for the nickel DMG, dimethyl glyoxime, you can add. For the magnesium, you can add the ammonium phosphate, it will form the complex with the magnesium. Then the thiocyanate you can add, it will form the complex with the copper. And whatever the precipitate will form, one by one you have to remove that precipitate. And once you remove that precipitate, you can dissolve it in the suitable solvent and you can titrate it against the EDTA complex symmetrically. Then the pH control: by adjusting the pH of the sample solution containing the several metal cations, it is possible to allow only a single species to react with the EDTA. For this purpose, single means in the composition in that particular sample, there are the number of metal ions are present. At that time, you have to control the pH. This is because the conditional formation constant for the metal EDTA complex depends upon the concentration of the, or say activity of the hydrogen ion, or say concentration of the H plus ion. The example is given: calcium can be determined in presence of the magnesium at pH 2 using the Muroxide indicator. Example: a solution containing the bismuth is there and the lead is there. The first titrated for the bismuth ions at pH 2 using the xylenol orange indicator, and then hexamine is added when pH is raised to 5 to 6. Pb2 plus ions can be titrated. Use of the masking agent: masking is nothing but you have to protect which substance is prevented in the particular reaction without being removed from the reaction system, and the demasking is the opposite process in which the masked substance is set free to take part in the reaction. Effective masking agent for the EDTA titration is the cyanide ion. Cyanide form the stable complex with the CD2 plus, zinc 2 plus, Ag2 plus, Cu2 plus. Number of cations form the stable complex with this cyanide. Cyanide is not form stable complex with the alkaline earth metal, that is Mn2 plus and Pb2 plus. Hence calcium 2 plus, Mg2 plus, Pb2 plus and Mn2 plus can be titrated with EDTA solution in presence of these mentioned ion by masking with the cyanide ion. You can use the potassium cyanide or say ammonium cyanide. Then the demasking agent: it is possible to demask a metal cation which has been previously marked so that it can be titrated with the EDTA. There are two methods to effectively form a new complex or other unionized compound which is more stable than the masked species. Example is there: Cyanide complex of the metal ion can be demarked by addition of the formaldehyde acetic acid solution or say chloral hydrate. That solution you can add in this particular mask species, then it can remove that, it can free that particular cation which was already masked. That reaction has been shown there. Then drastically changing pH of the solution. Demasking can be done by changing the pH of the solution also. Example is given: to titrate the calcium in presence of the magnesium, pH of the solution is first adjusted to the 12 to the mass Mg as MgOH ppt. Then if the pH is lowered to the 9, when MgOH ppt dissolved and Mg2 plus can be titrated against the particular EDTA. Then the kinetic masking or say kinetic inertness, the slow reacting rate of the same metal ion. Some metal ion is made use in this case. Example: solution containing bore, chromia, that Cr, chromium 3 plus, and that particular ferric 3 plus. This is a serous and the ferric ions can be titrated for the Ap3 plus ions only with the EDTA, because Cr3 plus ions, Cr3 plus ions form the complex very slowly with the EDTA. Now I think so you got this 5 parameter on which the selectivity of this particular EDTA as a titrant is dependent. One is the chemical that we have seen, chemical separation or say classical separation you can call it. Second one was the pH control or say acidity control of the acidity. Then we have seen masking agent, demasking agent, and the kinetic masking. These are the 5 parameters or some methods which enhance the selectivity of this EDTA as a titrant. What are the advantages and the limitations of the EDTA as a titrant? EDTA is a stable one, soluble, and it shows definite composition. Hence, it is preferred as a titrant. Number one is the, what is the EDTA? Full form of the EDTA is a ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. That you have to remember always. It is a multidentate or polydentate ligand. EDTA form the stable stoichiometric complex with almost all the metal ions. That is the second advantage. Then complexation occur in a single step, and hence the titration of the metal produces a sharp change in the metal ion concentration at the equivalence point. The metal EDTA complex are all water soluble, hence all the EDTA titrations can be performing in the aqueous medium. EDTA forms 1:1 complex with all metal ions irrespective of the change on the metal ion, that is shown there. The titration of the metal ion with the EDTA produces sharp color change at the equivalence point. The selectivity in EDTA titration can be accompanied by the choice of the pH. What are the limitations of the EDTA as a titrant? Many EDTA titration are carried out at a high pH. This may lead to difficulties due to the hydrolysis of certain metal ions, leading to formation of the insoluble hydroxide or basic salt, which may compete with complexation process. Then the second, since the EDTA forms the stable complexes with almost all the metal ions, the solubility of this particular thing and a single metal ion is the means EDTA is forming the that complex in with the almost all the metal ions, and that may leads to the difficult to separate out the that metal ion. separately. Single metal ion you can't separate it. That are the limitations of this particular EDTA titration. Then we have to focus on the types of the EDTA titration. There are the 5 types of the titration: direct titration, back titration, indirect titration, replacement titration, alkalimetric titration. That we will see one by one in the next lecture. See, all I am requesting to the all the students, please go through these lectures very well. Please prepare this part. Please go through this part, each and every point of this syllabus. Please ask the difficulty if you have on the Google Classroom or say Telegram group. Don't keep it as it is, because we once you if you ask, then and only we can know this if you are getting or not getting. Today we have focused on the selectivity of the EDTA, then the advantages and the limitations of this particular EDTA as a titrant. Then in the next lecture we will talk regarding the different types of the titrations of this EDTA. Okay, please go through this all this part very well. If you are having any problem, you can freely ask. There should not be any hesitations while asking the any difficulty. And ask your friends to go through this lecture daily, because we are focusing or we are covering the small part in the daily lectures. Okay, please go through this part very well. If you are having any doubt, you can ask easily. Okay, then here we will stop. Thank you.